You'll never truly understand how much your life can change until you're faced with a pivotal moment. One that changes not just your plans, but your very sense of purpose. For me, that moment came at the start of my second semester of college. That was supposed to be a fresh beginning, happy to be back time, but instead it turned into heartbreak when I learned that one of my closest friends on campus had passed away a few days earlier. The cause? They had been rationing insulin. As a freshman biomedical engineering student eager to innovate and solve real-world problems, that loss shook me to my core. It wasn't just the grief of losing a friend, it was also the unbearable imagination that in one of the most medically advanced nations in the world, access to life-saving medicine is not a guarantee. I found myself asking, how could this happen? And more importantly, what could I do? In the weeks that followed, school understandably fell at the bottom of my priority list. I had reached out to my professors for support, asking for a few days to just relax, recenter myself, and the ability to grieve. But instead, I was met with the cold response of, it wouldn't be fair to other students. That moment revealed something deeply flawed, not only in the healthcare system, but in the culture surrounding STEM in its entirety. At this time, STEM felt isolating, competitive, and inflexible. It seemed to prioritize output over well-being and knowledge over compassion. And if that's what being in STEM meant, I wasn't sure if it was meant for me. But walking away simply wasn't the answer. I decided I was going to redefine what STEM meant to me. I realized that I needed to stay and reshape it, transform it into something rooted in equity, empathy, and community. I wasn't alone in this feeling, and instead of letting that moment close a door, it opened so many new ones. I went on to charter Black Women in STEM at Arizona State University, launched a public health technology core for ASU Health, and launched programs that benefit the Valley. I served as president of the Black Medical Student Association. I published research at an Ivy League institution, and I interned at one of the best medical devices in the world. I carved out spaces not only where students from underrepresented backgrounds could thrive, be seen, and feel supported, but they could also feel like a person. And they can also imagine their future as scientists and engineers. And I also proved to myself that I am meant to be in these spaces and I am meant to take up space. These experiences didn't just help me heal, it helped me grow. They grounded me in a vision of STEM that is human-centered and purpose-driven. A vision where innovation is shaped not only by data, but by communities it serves. That's why I am committed to a career in patient-centered care and design. My dream is not only to improve lives through science and technology, but to ensure that no one is ever left behind because of who they are, where they come from, or what they can afford. Redefining STEM is not easy, but it is necessary. And today, when my journey feels challenging, when my workload is feeling heavy or the path feels uncertain, I return to my why. I think of my friend. I think of the community I serve, and I think of the future I am building, not just for myself, but for the generations of engineers, physicians, and change makers. Because real innovation starts with empathy, and our future of STEM must be one where care is not a privilege, but a promise.